Yo, YouTube. You could be anywhere in this world, but you're right here with us. So thank you for joining us. I'm Chris. This is Dave. We are the head traders here at the Traders Creed. And we thought we'd continue with our little breakdown or USDs, and it looks like it worked out our way. Dave, take it away, brother.
Thanks, man. Once again, guys, this is David and Chris. We are the head traders at Traders Creed. First and foremost, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Manage your own risk. Understand any of the risks associated with trading the foreign exchange market or any leveraged products. So we don't want to be held responsible for the money that you're losing. As we mentioned prior, this is just our take on things, and we will do our absolute best to be very, very transparent to show you the trades that we are taking, the trades that we're not taking, the money that was made, the money that was lost, etc., etc. But as we mentioned prior, we will just be chopping up the Euro USD. We did 2 videos on this chart, and our idea came into fruition, man. That is absolutely insane. So I want to go ahead and break down the dynamics of what happened, what we discussed in prior videos. If you haven't had the opportunity to check those out, we highly recommend that you check them out, as this video will make far more sense. And just to wrap up this video, we will go ahead and dissect what we believe is likely to happen moving forward with the euro. So we will go ahead and take care of that now. We are looking at the hourly time frame. We have our major key levels deployed, solid round numbers, midpoints at the 50s. We've discussed a little bit in some detail as to why we have these levels deployed at these price points. But with the euro, man, this was just, I'm going to be honest, man. The euro has just been a very, very shit chart as of late. But you could still find opportunities to exploit for profit. I do want to make very, very clear, even though we discussed what we were going to do on the Euro USD, unfortunately, I was asleep when this parabolic move happened to the upside. This is a very heartbreaking event, man. It's one thing when the markets take money from you, but it's another thing watching your ideas come into fruition and not being on board. That's just like getting your ass handed to you twice, but that's absolutely fine, man. There's no reason to chase because the markets are full of opportunities. They are abundant of opportunities. Try not to have that scarcity mentality. And if the euro presents a setup for us, we will take advantage of it, even though we missed the prior setup. But I'm not going to go into much detail in terms of what happened last week, because once again, we did cover that in prior videos. However, we were discussing that we would be looking to take a long around the 1.23, 1.23, 1.122, and price created a beautiful setup around those price points. Got that right here. Guys, they are going to look different every single time. The problem with being a trader or with a lot of novices in the game is that everybody wants that cookie cutter setup. Like they need it exactly to look the same time. They're stuck in that pattern mentality. You are not going to make it as a trader if you cannot handle the ambiguity, a lot of the dynamic elements that go into trading. This is not a black and white 1, 2, 3 step type of thing. Chris and I, had we taken the opportunity, once again, we were asleep when this happened, so we're just being honest with you right now, but we were looking to take a setup around these lows. So if price would have created this excursion, we probably would have entered as price action. Give me a second. I don't know why that happened. As price action was unfolding in real time. I really don't know why that's happening. Just ignore it, guys. Yeah, technical difficulties. But anyways, we would have wanted to take a trade down there. Chris and I take trades. We like to buy in the face of selling. We like to sell in the face of buying. I know this can be a little bit difficult to do in real time, but with practice, it does get easier because as retail traders, we are taught to do all the wrong things. We are taught to do the opposite. We are taught to buy when we see massive buying and we are taught to sell when we see, price action that indicates selling. But if it looks too good to be true, Chris and I bang about this all the time, it's probably not for your benefit. Had you seen a setup like this, you would have been induced to sell when in actuality you need to be buying. And we were saying the markets are always going to go where the money is. Basically, where retail traders are still holding for profit, we know there is money sitting from short sellers as this prior high has not been invalidated up until now. They were cleaned out of their orders. We were also talking about the possibility of it wiping out these prior pivots. It did just that. These would have been excellent areas to target for profit. You would have made some decent money. We said that these setups at least would have offered a minimum of about a 1 to 3. Let's say you were able to pinch off those lows, target the highs. There you go. 1 to 3. Target that next pivot, about a 1 to 4. Excellent, excellent opportunity to take advantage of. So what do we do moving forward? Chris and I are under the impression that these major highs are going to be invalidated because we know that there is money there. I don't think that this is the massive collapse for the euro yet. Despite our bullish bias over the short term, Chris and I are extremely, extremely bearish. The euro is just destined to go to shit. And we will make a video as to why we believe this to be the case from a fundamental, sentiment, and technical standpoint. Another time, we're just not going to get into it in this video, as that is not the sole purpose of this video. We just want to cover our technical setup, how things unfolded, and what we anticipate moving forward. But now that these highs have been invalidated, where would be the next area to target if the euro is to see upside continuation? It would be at these highs. We could see a breach of the 1.14. So how are we going to take advantage of the next windup? Well, the market is in consolidation mode. We talked about this in our prior videos. You will get your setup. You will get your volatile impulsive move. Then the markets will consolidate. That is what we are expecting. We will see if buyers are getting enticed around this level of support. Prior resistance now becomes support. Liquidity will build up from buyers. You will get your trap where buyers are not given the opportunities to exit for profit at the nearest area of structure. What we would like to see is a deep excursion right back below the 1.13, maybe even clean out this prior low that was put in. Maybe you
Looks
might
like a
even
nice little area for possible demand there, dude.
Yeah, you could also get demand around here, guys. So if we can get something like that, maybe around the 1.128, the 1.129, maybe even further than that, 1.127. The whole point is once we get a clear indication that a setup is there, we will look to take it long, to continue to take advantage of this, and then target the next areas of structure. I will be looking to target the 1.135 and definitely the 1.14 level, as those would be good areas to take targets. I'm not much for a fib retracement tool. Chris and I, we have sharpened our craft to the point where we could literally just trade without any tools, indicators, or any extra add-ons, but we'll just throw up a fib just for fucking kicks. Swing low to swing high. There you go. You got your 50 and you got your 61. So once again, if we can get something like that, it'd be a bad idea to take it long. How do we know where we're wrong? When this low and this low is invalidated. We also know that there is money sitting down here, as these prior lows have yet to be invalidated, but I don't think that they're going to be invalidated sometime this week. Maybe moving forward into next week, or maybe sometime later on this week, but we are still early in this trading week. So just be very mindful. Once we get a breach of these highs, I would be very, very prudent in holding it even further, because once we get those highs, we might get something like this and then smash straight down to the lows. But we will see what happens. This is what we anticipate is likely to happen for the euro. Pretty awesome stuff, man. We are excited. Even though we missed a trade, that's absolutely fine. Chris and I are going to find a way to make money. If we do take the trade, we'll make another analysis update, and we will show you that we took the live trade. This is what we call the pre-trade, the pre-analysis. This is us dissecting everything that we possibly can, cover as many variables and contingencies. And if we take the trade, we will make another update and show you that we took the trade with our real money and the result, whether it was right or wrong, money that was made, money that was lost. So you guys see that we're not just talking out of our poop shoots, that we are actually practicing what we preach, because Chris and I believe in integrity. We are not going to be the guys just teaching you something in which we are not practicing. We believe in practice what you preach. So hopefully that this video was insightful. And you know what? Just for kicks, we'll be looking at another setup just for the hell of it. That way, we're not just talking about the euro. I really like the pound, guys. I really think the pound is good for a short setup. I am currently short the trade, but if we get something like this, it'd be good to take a short if we get an invalidation of that prior high. Or hell, we might even just get it straight into the Asian session, smash through these lows. Why do we believe that? There's money sitting at these lows. This is a stop hunt. However, one of the things that we believe in forms of manipulations is that they don't appear only from a technical standpoint. They appear from a psychological standpoint. So when the market opens Sunday, this is what we call looks one way, goes the other throughout the week. This is what we call this type of psychological dynamic. So when Sunday opens, going into Monday, this type of price action is inducing buyers to come into the market. Everyone's excited. It's a Monday. Everyone's excited to trade. We're ready to risk capital, ready to smash through the week. However, if we don't get some continuation past these highs, I don't see the pound moving forward to the upside. I do believe that the pound might get some weakness early in the week, and then maybe later on in the week, we might get some upside potential. And then we could really smash through those highs. Once again, first scenario, trading is all about what if scenarios. This isn't a matter of like, I know exactly what the hell is going to happen at every given point. I don't know that. But what I do know is I can plan for certain scenarios. So scenario one, short play. If we get failure at these highs, we can take a short. I'm already short, so if it stops me out, big deal. I'll still be looking to short because I don't see it smashing through these highs anytime soon. I could be wrong. Keep that in mind. Chris and I, we can always be wrong. However, if we do get some weakness, I would like to target this low, as I know buyers are still in profit. Buyers are still holding their trades long, as they were not given the opportunity to exit for profit around that structure point, this swing high. That would be the most obvious level of structure to target. So if we do get weakness, I would like to target this low, and I would like to target the 1.24, as that would be a pretty good level to target. We know buyers are still in profit here. And any breakout traders that manage to take this breakout long. So we will see how it unfolds. But if we do get weakness, that is where we would like to take our profits. And then once we get a setup, perhaps below the 124, we may not even get it that low. We might get something like this. Anything like that is fair game for us to want to long. But that is our scenario for the pound. Long term, I think the pound is a short, but over the short term, we could definitely run the pound to the upside around these major swing points. We know there's liquidity here. However, we are still in a sell structure week, so this is a major level of significance for us. This is a major level of resistance. We know sellers are going to want to be stepping in around this area. So we might just get further downside. And then as sellers are getting induced to hold their trades even further, bam, smash to the upside, clean out their stops, and then we might get more continuation to the downside, and then continue the same old damn cycle, running it to the next major areas of support and resistance. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know what else we could really cover on that, but the euro and the pound are definitely on our radar. We want to long the euro, short the pound, at least for right now, and then sometime throughout the week, if we get a buy setup for the pound, we definitely want to play that. Looks like we might get some risk on sentiment for this week. The narrative always comes after. I don't really look to anticipate news flows or dissect fundamental information. I look to the technicals first, fundamental second. Why is that? Because the narrative always comes after. If you're trying to anticipate news flow or fundamental information when that is not your strong suit, I'm humble enough to admit fundamentals are not my cup of tea. I study them because it is important to have fundamentals at the back of your mind, but I'm a technician first. I specialize in the technicals and then fundamental second. So I find that is our best edge in the markets. Anything you want to add to that, Chris?
The only thing I wanted to touch up on, Dave, is you mentioned that we missed the trade on the euro, but I'm actually glad. I missed the trade because I didn't go against my rules, and that's not trading Fridays and not trading Sundays. Most of that was on a Sunday, and what we've been noticing is that Sundays and Mondays it'll lure in traders one way, and then Tuesday, Wednesday comes back and clears them out.
Chris brought an absolutely phenomenal point. If you just feel uncomfortable trading, don't trade. You don't have to risk money. Chris, yeah, we are still early in Monday, so perhaps Tuesday or Wednesday, if we get our setup, it might blow through these highs and then boom, smash through these lows. So that's absolutely right. It's just be patient to wait for your key moment to act. You don't have to trade every tick of the market. You will get your opportunity. You just have to be patient. And as Chris said, it's important to follow your rules. Part of our method is that we like to be flat through Fridays, unless if we're holding a trade and the setup is really good and it's moved a significant distance from our entry, and we had the opportunity to break even, we'll let the trade run because big deal. We're not going to lose money if it cleans out our order or flushes us out. But generally, we don't trade Sundays because there's lack of liquidity on Sundays. You're going to get a horrible fill. The spreads are a little bit wider than usual. And Mondays, we know Mondays to be a major trap for the week. It'll suck traders in one way to the upside or to the short side and then immediately reverse. It doesn't always work out that way. We don't want you to adhere to that framework in such a static way, because the markets are very dynamic. But Chris and I have noticed that Sundays through Mondays are a form of trap. And throughout the week, you will get a massive shift to the other direction. So we'll see what happens. It's still early Monday, maybe in London session for Tuesday. We might get that set up to long, and maybe Wednesday we might get that set up to short. But bottom line, you want to target these highs and be quick to exit for profit. We don't know how this stuff's going to unfold, peeps, but what we do know is that we are prepared for whatever does present itself. And the thing is with our method, what makes it so beautiful is that you will know your setup when you see it. We have done this time and time again. We have done this for years. Like, it's almost intuition in a way. It's second nature, and that's the stuff we can't teach you. That's the stuff you are going to have to gain through experience. But we hope that these videos are proving to be insightful and helpful throughout time, and we hope that you're focused on the process and on sharpening your craft diligently every single day, because you can do this, and we are going to show you that you can do it. So that's pretty much all I have to add to that. I don't know if you want to close it up with anything, Chris.
I mean, the beautiful thing about trading, Dave, is you can miss one opportunity, but there's unlimited opportunities more to come. I think the best thing about this is that now at this point, now that we know that the market makers have revealed their hands, it's just adding to our bias, and we know exactly where the market's going. And all we got to do is wait for pullbacks. We can anticipate, what we think the market's going to go ahead and do. If that scenario plays out, then we go ahead and take it.
Exactly. Well put. So, quick summary, peeps. We are going to be looking to long the USD over the short term. Same thing with the pound. Wait for your setups, wait for your key moments, and as always, manage your goddamn risk. Please, for the love of God, stop trying to take that lottery trade. Stop trying to take that Lambo trade. Just focus on consistency. Chris and I would much rather you peeps make large amounts of money through time consistently rather than in a volatile fashion. where you're like risking 25% of your account, take a massive hit and draw down. It's very difficult to recover from those types of hits, not only financially, but psychologically. And it doesn't take very many hits to blow up your account if you're taking massive sides on trades. Trade small, trade well, trade safe, and the money will follow as a result of that. So focus on process, man. But that's it for this video. We will keep you updated depending on what happens. If we take the trade, we will come up with another analysis update. We will show you that we took the trade in real time. And if we're wrong or right, we will show you the result as well. So work hard, play hard. Most importantly, have fun with this, man. That's all I have to say.
Have a good one, guys.
Take care, man. Deuces.